Welcome today. We are talking about the Gateway to Freedom Investor Conference. My name is Josh Wiesler. I am a small business coach. I am a co-host of the event. And for me, as a small business coach, I started in real estate investing a decade ago. I've been through wholesaling, coaching other investors. I've done rehabs, multifamilies, commercial buildings, also done some like leasebacks, private lending. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about that with our guest. And for me, I'd also like to introduce my co-host, Rich Groves.
Hey, everybody, I'm Rich Groves. I'm a real estate investor here in the St. Louis area as well. Bought my first rehab property in 2005, and I've been connecting people ever since. That's my passion, is connecting people. But I also remember what it was like to be in your shoes. I remember what it was like to be a paycheck to paycheck kind of person, or maybe I didn't feel like I was free, or I was stuck in a job I didn't like. And this conference is a solution.
So with that, Rich kind of talked about what you might be facing in your real estate journey and your business development journey. And for us, one of the big things that we love and why we are doing this conference for me is helping people catalyze their dreams and hit that next level that they're looking to achieve in their business, their investing journey, just even in life. And so like a great example is like Rich had this event that he had in his mind, and we collaborated, and through our relationship, which is a lot of what our investor conference is about, and even the person we're bringing on today, it's about finding those people that will help you move through life, your business, and your investing journey more powerfully. And so for that, why we brought on the man that we have today, Alejandro Cornejo. Right.
And I like the man, El Hombre.
El Hombre.
And you thought Pujols was El Hombre.
Yeah. So Alejandro, he's been in the financing, funding portion of real estate, and his journey's spanned, he said, I think it's over 17 years. He's done the full gambit, even up until now. He's in the private lending, hard money arena, and he will be on our financing panel. Is there anything that I missed as far as like what you do in real estate, and give a little bit about you and any bullet points that we can help with?
No, I thought it was really good, Josh. The point in what I love about the conference is that it's people who went through the process. And that's what I love, in different places and from different places.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I like about it, because when you hear instruction, when you hear coaching, when you hear guidance from people that have walked that path, it's just more relatable. And I think all of us are in different places. I'm in a different place than say Josh is or Rich is. And that's the value, I believe, of the conference that I got, is that there's something there for you wherever you are in that journey.
Great point.
Wow.
Great point, man.
Yeah. We haven't even asked a question and he's already dropping nuggets, man. That's phenomenal.
Just wanted to kind of know, when you got started, when you started in real estate investing, what was it? Like, what was the light bulb that went off, or what was it that you said, you know what, I'm going to do that?
Yeah, it probably other people have said this, but I was reading Robert Kiyosaki's book. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then I the one that really did it was, I think it was What the Rich Invest in That the Poor Don't. Oh. And I remember I was in Florida, in Destin, in a vacation with my family. We had driven there. So I was already stressed out because it was with 2 kids under 5.
Oh, man. Wow.
So I was already stressed out.
You're glutton for punishment.
But I was reading this book, and just the light went off, and I realized, just working a job is not going to give me what I need to reach the goals that I have in mind. And I remember telling, my wife at the time, saying, we need to do something differently. And I think real estate is the thing. So that for me was the light bulb moment that said, okay, let me take action, because we all experience things, we all see things, but thinking about something or knowing something is not it. It's thinking about it, but then doing something about it.
Man.
That's the difference, right? We all think about stuff. But at that point, I said, I gotta get into action now. I gotta mobilize.
Oh,
yeah.
When you first started, that paints a great picture for me, and I can vividly, because I can relate to it. You had a W-2, and you're like, look, I'm going to move into real estate investing. And there's that part where you're like, look, this is uneasy. I've got this comfort of my W-2, at least the comfort being that I know I have benefits, or I've got, paid vacation, or, whatever. But then when you're trying something new, some fears come into your mind. What were some of those fears that were in your mind?
Well, I believe that for me, and everyone is different, you have to think about your background and what I call your mindsets. Mm-hmm. So all of us bring these things because of how we grew up, what we've experienced. me coming from a very, I would say, low budget environment.
That's a nice way to put it, Alejandro. Very nice way to put that.
Very low budget environment. My mother, my mom always gets the props. I got to always shout out my mom. My mom came to the United States with $3 and 2 kids.
Oh, wow.
So that level, I think, of vision, $3 and 2 kids and a cousin in California. Yeah, I mean, that was the thing, right?
You mentioned, but a mountain full of faith.
But a mountain full of faith, right? Just believing, right? And just telling yourself it has to work. But in that process, right, she didn't know the system of how to create wealth. So it was just work hard, save kind of a thing. And there was never really enough, right, with 2 kids. So that mentality, and my ex-wife at the time, my wife at the time, ex-wife now, but her coming from a similar space where it was, you hold on to everything real tight.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So it's a lack mentality. You're like, how much is that going to cost? Like $5,000? Are you crazy? So it was, this whole fear that I continue to work to get free from, is that you're going to be broke and destitute. Right? It's this mindset that you're going to be broke and destitute.
Right.
So that was the biggest thing, right? Was what if I lose all my money? I'm going to be broke and destitute.
Yeah.
All right.
Man.
So that was definitely the biggest fear.
So what successes then did you meet once you learned to overcome those fears?
One of them was that whatever obstacle, there are ways to overcome those things. That was one of the biggest things, is once you buy the property, in that situation, right, we bought these 2 4-families. And then all of a sudden we had all these problems. We had to evict somebody, and then we had bed bugs. I mean, I think I had almost everything. Within like the first 2, then somebody flooded my apartment. The person I evicted, her gift to us was to flood the apartment. They stopped all the drains. So all the stories right about the midnight, how they say, real estate, somebody's going to call you at midnight with the plumbing, right? Yes, somebody called. Mr. Alejandro, there's like water coming from my ceiling.
Right.
Oh, man.
So, but what I learned is that when those hits came, we figured them out.
Yeah.
And when I started looking at my bank account, though, at the end of the year, it was better than when we started. And when I did my taxes, it was better than before. So, you realize, wait a second. And then the mindset, I would say, to be resilient.
Yeah.
To build, because you are going to have challenges. I like what you said, Rich. It's not an overnight thing, but if you commit to doing it, you will find successes if you persevere. But anything worth having is uphill, right? I mean, anything worth, if you want a great marriage, if you want a great clean house, right? You want great children, right? Great relationships, it's going to require effort. Yeah. But if you have the tools to help you put the effort, right? So it doesn't have to be the heaviest lift, because that's the thing, right? Tools require you to lift, but not as much. Oh, come on, somebody.
Yeah, that's right. For real. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Come on, brother.
Preach, sir, preach. And speaking on that, Alejandro, like for me, in my experience with you, like I know you talk about the problems and you talked about tools. And one of the things we look at as tools, like how that kind of connects with relationships and mentors and coaches. And I've seen you coach other people. I've seen you mentor other people. How did connecting with coaches and experienced professionals help you through that environment?
Well, I think, did someone say shortcut? I don't know if we said that earlier. I don't know. It's a shortcut to certain things. There are some people, I tell my son all the time, son, just pay attention to what I'm telling you, because if you do, you'll avoid a lot of mistakes that I made.
Yeah.
So a coach, now they can't give you the whole secret sauce, right? Because there are nuances, but they can give you a whole lot that will cut time, that will cut some frustration out of where you're trying to get to. And people have already achieved where you're trying to get to, most, right? Maybe people like Steve Jobs and Elon, there are people like that, you got trailblazers like that. But I'm just saying, for most of us, right? Yep. Someone has achieved where you're trying to get to, and they can give you tools and resources that can help you get there faster.
Gotcha. And so, Rich, speaking on that, how would our conference help with that timeline for most people?
I mean, I'm a big believer in paying for speed. Yep. And, when you get a shortcut, you can go from A to B even faster than just having the speed. You've got a new path too, but you got to pay, like you said, you got to pay attention and put in the work and all of that too. But, by going to Gateway to Freedom, you're going to, I mean, it's like I mentioned this, I think on another podcast, but it's like going to one of those show up and drive test events. You go to the Ford and drive all those different Fords and see which one you like. You come to an event like this, you see guys like Alejandro up there talking. You see all these other speakers we have out there. It's like you're test driving 30 speakers and you finally can relate to 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. And now you're building your community. You're building your team that way. That's how I think it could help.
Yeah. Phenomenal. And all of our people are like Alejandro. If you can't tell, like, you are one of the most enthusiastic, energetic, giving back, like helping other people that want to help themselves. And I think that's for the people that want to invest and go to an environment like that, like our conference. I see, and that's why we brought you on board, is like your energy is infectious. And that's a common theme we have with a lot of people. And it comes from the experience you had mentioned earlier. Absolutely. Like, one of my favorite sayings is like, there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Wisdom is what we're all looking for. Knowledge is like knowing that tomatoes are a fruit. Wisdom through experience is knowing they don't belong in a fruit salad, right? And so you only get that through either wisdom from the experience or by tapping into people like Alejandro that have gone through the experience already for you and listening to them. So with that, man, what mistakes did you make that you want these investors that are going to come to the conference? What do you want them to avoid?
Well, my area now, specialty and focus area, is definitely on the funding side. And again, it's only natural, right? When I'm like, oh, I'm going to go broke. Or I never forget a property that my mom had. It was a condo that she owned. And this is before I knew all this stuff. Oh, wow. And $5,000 is I regret it so much, is what stopped me from having a property that now would be worth $175,000. Man. Yeah. Mindset, right? And when it comes to financing, funding, my thinking was, where am I going to get $5,000? Right. I'm going to go broke, right? That's all my savings at the time. And private money lending, I'm not an institution. And we have institutions there. Maybe I'll add that. The good thing is you will find something that you can learn from at the conference. Yeah. Not everyone, it's like a menu. It's a smorgasbord. You got to pick your spot, right? Yeah. But for me, I think what I can share is there are different ways to accomplish your goal from a money standpoint. Yeah. And one of them is private money. There are a lot of people out there, not just me. There are a lot of people out there waiting to give you money. I know that sounds crazy. I used to go to, one of the first real estate meetings I went to, they were talking about, okay, now this is what you got to do to the property. And somebody, what about the money? Well, that's the easy part. Yeah, right. I'm like, how can $200,000, $150,000 be easy? Well, it is, because if you have a great deal, the money will come, and we can help you. I can help you understand more about what do I bring to the table so that people are dying to give me money. Right. Because that is true. People are dying. People have money sitting out there just waiting to give it to you if you present the opportunity in the right way. That's, I believe, the value that I can bring to the table. Ooh,
that's powerful, man. Yeah. That's awesome. It is, because you're right. A lot of people think that money is, like you said, $5,000 is what stopped you. And whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, like you said, the money will come with those easy deals. Yeah, absolutely.
and that mindset piece you talked about, like looking back, had you had a different mindset of it's a deal, where is the money versus how do I provide it? Somebody would have probably came into your life that would have been like, yeah, let's do it, and this is how we can do it, right?
Absolutely. It's creativity. That's the other thing too, right? Is what's wonderful, I believe, in real estate and even other industries, but you can be creative. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, right? Sometimes people think that creativity is just sculpting something or painting, and that's certainly creative, right? I'm a recording artist, right? But there's creativity in achieving your goals, especially when it comes to money, right? There's creativity on how can I make $150,000 happen in a week, right? In a day. It can happen, and it's creativity and the networking. Right. Yeah, this is a people are people, right? The more people the more hands you shake, the more money you make.
I love that. I love that. Yes.
That was a bar, Alejandro.
That's right.
I love tag bars.
Yeah. That's right. Right. Well, and that's phenomenal, man. And I think leading into the last thing, like a big purpose for us is how freedom and what freedom can mean for everybody and what does it mean for everybody. And so for you, man, what does freedom mean to you?
Wow, this is good. Freedom is options. Freedom is, for me, is options. You can choose what you want to choose. That really is for me the freedom.
Oh,
options.
I like that.
Options.
A one-word answer.
I definitely do. So with options and having that freedom, how do people connect with you that want to experience that type of freedom in their life? Since you're living it and we can hear it, how do they connect with you?
Yeah, definitely on the socials, Facebook, Alejandro Cornejo, on Instagram @Live Motivator, TikTok, Abundant Lifer. And you can email me directly, Alejandro, it's only one Alejandro @thehardmoneybanker.com. Alejandro @thehardmoneybanker.com.
We'll have those in the footnotes as well, the show notes. And then for us, we've got a conference, Gateway to Freedom.
What?
Yeah, right? Gateway to Freedom, October 17th, 18th, and 19th. It will be at the Aviator in South County in St. Louis, Missouri. We've got different ticket prices, anywhere from the new investor that just wants to get an education all the way up to the guys that are wanting to scale their business. We have a half-day platinum ticket where you can come in the first day and get information on scaling your business. And it just, like anything you have in the investing world, relationship wise, you want to build anything of that, go to Gateway to Freedom. The website is free.com. And when you go there, click on buy your ticket and then figure out which package works for you, which one you want to do, as well as if you can't, buy your ticket. And then if you can't wait to meet people like Alejandro, if you can't wait to meet people like Rich, Sam, any of our guest speakers, anybody on that list, we have a list of the local St. Louis RIAs. Rich has painstakingly put together over the years to provide for you guys so you can go out and network in these environments and meet people like Alejandro to move your business forward with wherever it needs to go right now. With that, you can find our notes in the social, our footnotes for how to connect with me and Rich and our crew in the socials in the footnotes. And then Rich, anything else to add on that?
I just want to thank you, Alejandro, for your time. Thank you for being a part of this event. I mean, I went up to you and asked you and you're like, yeah, let's do it. I appreciate that. I mean, for real. Didn't even have to think about it or anything, man.
Yep. Yeah. Appreciate it. And you're a phenomenal ad. If you can't tell already, the energy, the emotion, and the experience that he's going to bring to the table in our funding panel, you don't want to miss it. Right. So
absolutely. Appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for being a part of the team. And
glad to be here. Can't wait to see you as well.
Listening, and have a great day.